Hi everyone, Miss Bandos here. We're going to talk about depth of field in this video. So the definition of depth of field is how much is in focus, the distance between the nearest and the furthest objects that give an image judged to be in focus in the camera. So here are two pictures that I took of myself showing a shallow depth of field and a deep depth of field. A shallow depth of field, like this, is like portrait mode on your phone where one object is in focus and the rest is blurred or it goes out of focus, like further away. And then a deep depth of field is having everything in focus. So see how I'm in focus and the trees behind me are in focus, where in the shallow depth of field, I'm in focus, but the trees behind me are not in focus. Also, you could have a shallow depth of field where the trees are in focus and I am not in focus. The way to control this is by adjusting the aperture. So in photography, aperture refers to the opening in a lens that controls the amount of light reaching the camera sensor, measured by f numbers, like f over 2.9, f over 8, and influences both image brightness and depth of field. So here is a video of a lens while the aperture is being changed. So you want to be aware of where the sensor is. So it's this red line where if it is at 2.8, it is going to have a wider aperture, where if it's at a larger one like 22, it's going to have a smaller aperture, and that's how you'll get your deep depth of field. Adjusting the aperture also affects like what your shutter speed is going to be. So you need to be aware of your settings. You might need to use a tripod to have a deeper depth of field because it will need to focus longer. It's letting less light in, so that way it can spend longer getting every detail, getting everything focused. So you need to be aware of all the settings that you're using, but this is how aperture affects the depth of field.